Hello, my name is İhsan Rauf Saraçlı. Now I'm going to demonstrate homework 4, task 1. In this task, I created an enum which has 4 elements on it. Now, how does this enum works? You can see that it has all text, check and drop elements on it. We have a form element, selected form element variable here. It is at default form element.all. This chooses which elements are visible. So where does this variable change? In here we have a drop down. When I open that drop down, I see 4 buttons, and what they do, they change the value. For example, this drop down menu item changes the value to form element text. When the value is updated, it will set the state and update the app. You can see we can change the elements and update the app from here. Now, how does the other widgets are gone when I change the then I select a different drop down item? I make them invisible because I want the text field to be always in the form, but it may be hidden. I want it to maintain its state. So I make them invisible when I select another option. Like here we have text, but it will be invisible here. But why did I do that? Because when I write a 2-letter text here, it will say that enter at least 3 letters, and it shouldn't be work. So why should it work on here? It doesn't work here if I wrote 2 letters. Now if I write more than 3 letters and select this area and click on this, it will show me the result. So at first I remove the widgets, but then a second thought, making them invisible may be a better approach for the solution of this. So I changed their visibility, the elements visibility, to hide them instead of deleting them. This was my task 1, and I want to show all of this. You can see I can say yes, and it will be updated to yes. I'm gonna uncheck this, then this doesn't update it, but I don't think it was on the recommendations, so my code is like this right now. And this was the end of task 1. Let me continue with task 2. Thank you. Okay, for task 2, it was fairly easy for me to do it because I did a different approach on the hiding widgets. Instead of deleting the widgets, I made them invisible. So I think because of that, it was easier for me to do it. Only thing I changed, I added a single boolean value for both checkbox and the drop down, and as you can see, in the checkbox, variable affected by checkbox is blue value, and the drop down variable affected by drop down is blue value too. And here, let me show you on the app, when I change the checkbox, drop down is affected too. When I change the drop down checkbox is affected too. Let me go here. I uncheck it. Then I see that drop down is false. Then I say yes on the drop down, and the check, when I'm in the check page, it's checked. I want to go to drop down and say no, and check is gone. And I want to check again, it's yes. And I want to uncheck, and it's no. And let me show you like this, that it's affected in here too. They both become true when I send it like this. Okay, this was task 2. Now I'm going to move on to local history. Okay, now I want to talk about local history. At first I will add my homework 3 to homework 4 because it's the resume of the homework 3. Then later on I will add the enum here. I will add the enum form element here. There is no other changes here. And then I will add the variable form element here. There is no change in build still. Then after that, still no change on the build. After that, I will try to update the onSend method because I want my text to always validate even though it's not visible or there. So I try to implement a different approach for onSend method, but then later on I will decide that it's not the best approach for this, for text to always validate. So later on I will keep the validate as the same, and now I added this form and a drop down button. This drop down button change the pages, like it goes to text page, it goes to check page or drop page. It changes the value of form element for that and set the state for that. It's not actually a changing of page, but it looks like that. That's why I say change the page. And how does it do that? I approach this situation with making it invisible. Instead of deleting the widgets, I make them invisible, and I use visibility. And here I think there is no big changes, just some editing, and that's all. This is all my local history, and my final code is like that. Thank you for listening to me. Goodbye.